Hello, ladies and gentlemen, crypto deep divers. Welcome back to Weekly Crypto. Today, I'm going to talk about European Central Bank are preparing for Plan B. Also, I will touch on Richard Hart, the Hex token. And also, there's a world first human composing facility coming to Seattle in 2021. And I will touch on the Boring Company as well. And just in case you're new to the channel, just to remind everybody that Zilliqa, they have a token swap deadline in February 15, 2020. So I talked about the Zilliqa token swap probably last year. They have their mainnet launch on January 2018, and the token swap is in Q2 2019. If you have already done the token swap last year, you don't have to do anything. But if you haven't done anything, you probably want to do your token swap. Otherwise, your token will become worthless. But anyway, so right now, the token swap is very simple. All you have to do is to send your Zilliqa ERC Zilliqa token, ERC20 Zilliqa token to Binance, KuCoin, CoinHako, Wahubi, and basically make sure you only send the ERC20 Zilliqa to an Ethereum address provided by the exchange. If you send your ERC20 Zilliqa to the Zilliqa mainnet address, you're going to lose your token. You have to be very careful. So after you send it to the ERC equivalent address in the exchange, then after they do the exchange, the swap for you, then you withdraw the native Zilliqa token to Zilliqa mainnet address. So the wallet that support this token is Moonnet. This is a desktop wallet. CPay, Sealer.io, Atomic Wallet. And the mobile wallet is Trust Wallet, which is owned by Binance. Basically, I use Trust Wallet. It's easier for me. I can store multiple coin. And also, I use an old cell phone. So the only time I turn on my cell phone is to transfer the token. So majority of the time, the cell phone is turned off. So you shouldn't be turn on your cell phone all the time with your wallet, especially you have tons of token, right? And then you have Math Wallet, Infinito Wallet. So you can check it out. If you haven't do your token swap, make sure you do your swap before February 15, 2020. And before we get into the topic today, make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out the upcoming airdrop or token swap. Also, you can follow me on Twitter as well. And if you haven't installed the Brave browser, you can click the link below. You can check it out because it block out all the advertising. Also, TradingView, they have 60% off. I think those 60% off type of deal is only happen twice a year. So take advantage of this because this is a good way to start learning technical analysis, right? You don't want to be, just like the Hertz, doesn't know when to enter the position or exit the position. So let's talk about the European Central Bank are slowly preparing for the Plan B, which is gold. And basically, central bank from Russia or China has been accumulating gold for a very long time, and because of the systemic risk of the U.S. dollar, and because of the after 2008 the financial crisis, basically quantitative easing, and currently we have Ripple, which is the interbank. Those transfer, they don't have enough money for the interbank, so basically another QE again. And this is a pretty interesting pyramid. This is the pyramid called Inverse Pyramid by John Exter. He is an American economist back in the 60s. And this is very interesting because gold is the base or the bedrock of the whole monetary system. So the higher you go, the higher the risk you have. You can see the paper money, and then you have the government bond, treasury bills, you have private equity, and then you have corporate and muni bonds, and then you have stocks, and you have derivatives. Of course, derivatives is those very risky. Those talking about those future market and all that. Anyway, those you don't want to touch that. But Wall Street make money out of the derivatives, right? And those are just paper. Anyway, INF consider all financial assets to have counterparty risk except gold. So IMF. This is IMF definitions. So the rest, they have counterparty risk. And another interesting thing is the world total official gold reserve has been increasing after the financial collapse of 2008, the financial crisis. You can see the reserve of gold has been increasing. And of course, back in the 80s, back then you have hyperinflation and then stagflation. And if you put your money into the bank back in the 80s, you probably get 10 to 15% interest rate. But right now, we are at almost 0% interest rate policy because after the financial crisis, they cut the interest rate almost to zero. As a saver, you're going to lose a tons of money. If you are not in the stock market or real estate for the past decade, you're going to lose all your purchasing power of your money, basically. And this is how the wealth transfer from the middle class to the wealthiest people. And of course, European Central Bank, for example, Germany, Netherlands, Austria, Hungary, and Turkey, they repatriate gold. And then, of course, the golds mainly come from Bank of England in London and Federal Reserve Bank of New York. Especially Germany, they are very cautious about hyperinflation because back, I don't know if you still remember the World War One. After they lose the World War One, they have to print tons of money to pay the reparations to other nations because they lose the war. They have to pay, and they print tons and tons of money in order to pay all the debt to the neighboring countries. So you can see the children are paying with this worthless fiat money, the German money at the time. So this is like a Lego board, like Lego bricks, and you can see this guy using a wheelbarrow to carry the money, and they're playing basically the worthless money. They're even cutting the money because it's it's worthless basically, and then the boys are basically using the money to fly a kite made of bank notes in 1922. And here they're using the worthless banknotes for the arts and craft. They're just playing with it, basically. And you can see they pile up all this worthless money, It's like a tower of 100,000 marks the $100 marks is equal to $1. Oh my God, in 1923. And this is like a wallpaper, right? It's a wallpaper. Yeah. They use it as a wallpaper, more affordable options, even cheapest roll of wallpaper, even cheaper than a wallpaper. So this is the hyperinflation back in after the First World War. They lose the war, they have to pay. That's why they have to print money. They print money. That's what happened. This is the hyperinflation. And you can see the CPI index, the consumer price index. You can see this is very stable, and then all of a sudden, boom. That's pretty scary. So this is a pretty long article at the end, basically because of the pyramid, because the pyramid has grown too big, is unstable. The moment the pyramid fall, the pyramid that I showed earlier, gold will do its job. History basically teaches gold can protect the owner from all types of weather. Central bank, of course, know all this. And gold is physical, immutable, and of course it's divisible. And because if you melt it, it will be divisible. And of course, it's independent and without any counterparty risk. And of course, you are not going to lose your purchasing power, right? You maintain your purchasing power throughout history. And so you can also argue that Bitcoin is also the same thing, right? You can divisible, it's immutable, and there's no counterparty risk and all that, and you can transfer it. My concern right now is because Wall Street coming in with a whole bunch of instrument like the CME Bitcoin future, and also you have an options market, and as well as Tether. Tether is seems like printing like crazy. As if I don't know, Tether is very it's not reliable. Tether, do they really have all the money to back up before they print the Tether, or they just print it out of nowhere and then they buy Bitcoin? There's a lot of concern for me right now at this moment in terms of the Bitcoin, because they can inflate the Bitcoin 100 times or whatever using the derivatives or the future market, the option markets. So I mean, you can argue that gold is the same thing. They can do them in paper gold as well, and they have the future market to suppress the price of gold as well. So, but in terms of cryptocurrency, Bitcoin is more easily transfer because all you have to do is use a computer. But gold you have to carry around. I mean, you cannot carry too many golds across the border. You probably will get arrested, right? They were saying, hey, where did you get this gold? Even the maybe the gold is owned by you, they still questions, right? So more practical, of course, is Bitcoin. It's a store of value, right? So it's easy to transfer through the internet. Is more easy. But the thing is, you probably need a very diversified portfolio instead of just focusing on one thing, I guess. Not a financial advice. You do whatever for your money. Please comment below what do you think about gold versus Bitcoin. And are you going to diversify or are you going to just own mainly cryptocurrency? And let's talk about the boring project. So the boring company, basically they're not boring. They have the Hyperloop. So the test tunnel is already live. They are already complete. They already finished, and then they're going to Las Vegas Convention Center loop. They actually in construction. This is of course in Vegas. So this is pretty interesting. And did you guys order the Cybertruck? Please comment below if you ordered the Cybertruck. So please comment below. I would love to hear from you. And I feel like in the future, you probably need to buy a Tesla to utilize all this underground tunnel to avoid traffic. For example, especially in Los Angeles area, it's so congested. And also major big city in New York City and all that, probably in the future, probably own a Tesla. You can utilize those underground tunnel instead of travel on the ground because it's so congested out there. So those loop can go up to 120 miles per hour. That is very, very fast. So this is pretty cool. And let me know what you think about the Cybertruck. Did you order it? And what cars are you currently driving right now? And do you plan to switch to Tesla in the next few years to utilize all this underground tunnel, the Hyperloop, the loop, whatever? Please comment below. I would love to hear from you. And another interesting thing is the world first human composting facility is coming to Seattle in 2021. So, of course, this is very revolutionary. This is very progressive. And, of course, in Washington, it's an evergreen state. If you live or if you travel to state of Washington, you saw the license. You probably see the license plate. It say evergreen state. And so right now, they passed they already become the first state, U.S. state, to legalizing the composting of human bodies in May of this year. So that is in May of this year, which is 2019. It's already passed, actually. So if you go to Seattle or Washington, state of Washington, people are very progressive over there, very progressive. They are very liberal and all that. And of course, and also they are very highly educated in the state of Washington. For some reason, I don't know why, but I could be wrong. But that's how I felt when I go there. And this is very revolutionary, the idea to composing human. And this is good to the environment. And instead of using cremation, which can, create CO2 and all this CO2 gas and everything, or bury in a cemetery, and then you have to use all the conventional bury in a cemetery. So they basically compare different prices. So they're paying $5,500 for this natural organic reduction services in a green, basically human compost. And then the cremation is 1,000 to 7,000. Conventional bury in a cemetery can be at least 8,000. It's not just about the money. It's about what's the wishes for the people who want to do this. And besides doing this human composting, another option is you can donate your body to the university because medical student and some other healthcare professionals, they have to go to some human anatomy class. And so those bodies come from donation. They didn't buy any body or whatever, and people donate their body to the university for the good of the mankind. And the medical student or pre-med student can study human body, then they can go to med school, and then they can also go to research or whatever to do the good humankind. So This is also another options. You can donate your body to the university or to your previous university that you have already graduated or whatever. That's another options too. And of course, this is a human composing thing. I think, and this is good for the environment and something like that. But this is too drastic for me. I don't think I would do that. Probably I would donate the body to the university. So I'm not sure. Let me know what you think about this. I know it sounds crazy, and this is sound very revolutionary of the times. So maybe this is very uncomfortable subject to people, but maybe this is too revolutionary at this time right now. What do you think? Please comment below. I would love to hear from you. And of course, Hong Kong protests still going on almost every week. And I have talked about Hong Kong protests may be a catalyst for the next Black Swan event. And here you can see it say, hey, because President Trump just signed the Hong Kong Human Rights and Democracy Act. And of course, people, I think this is during Thanksgiving. President Trump, let's make Hong Kong great again. This is interesting, the Hong Kong people doing this. And there's a whole bunch of thing that's showing different thing. And then you can see American flag. There's tons of American flag during the rally in Hong Kong. I have not seen so many American flag, maybe except in Veterans Day. That is a little bit crazy. So right now, Hong Kong is under the communist China, under the communist totalitarian regime. And of course, China has done a lot of harm to the humankind. For example, they have harvest organs from the Falun Gong practitioner, and because they suppress Falun Gong in China, also they suppress a lot of religion. For example, Christianity as well as the Muslim. And of course, you heard about the Xinjiang, the concentration camp. They basically separate families and all that. This is very unhuman. And I couldn't believe that in the 20th century, you still have this type of totalitarian, ruthless regime doing all these bad things to humankind. So let me know what you think about this Hong Kong protest. I would love to hear from you as well. And let me know what you think. And I think it's the right thing that the U.S. do the Hong Kong ad. I think it's a good thing. But the thing is, every politicians, there's some motives behind. We don't know. So maybe there's some reason for that. So let me know what you think about that as well. There's a lot of political pressure around the world at this time right now. And let me know what you think about the ongoing, there's so many protests around the world, the Yellow Vest movement, and there's lots and lots of protests around the world, and people are not very happy what's going on right now, I guess. And comment below. I would love to hear from you. And let me know what you think about the central bank preparing for Plan B, and let me know what you think about this human composing facility in Seattle. I would love to hear from you as well. And remember, crypto deep divers, we the people take control of our money. Stay wise, stay safe, peace. And make sure you comment below. That will help my ranking in YouTube. Also, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out the upcoming airdrop or token swap. Also, you can follow me on Twitter as well. Make sure you smash the like button if you find this video helpful. And I'm not a financial advisor. Investing in cryptocurrency and commodity has inherent risk. Please use your due diligence.